Thank you so much for coming out this afternoon. Thank you very much. A hearty welcome to all of you today for investing your time in order for your life to thrive and shine. I would like to start by sharing the genesis story of Thrive and Shine. My name is Selena Pollard. I am your host for this event and for all events. I've been a realtor for over 32 years, and the last few years I've been centered on helping my clients feel confident and educated around the area of right sizing. So about 2 years ago, I assembled a small but mighty group called Right Sizing Remedies, who are best-in-class professionals that specifically cater to those who are making later in life changes. That Facebook group has now been renamed to Thrive and Shine, and a few of those original members are here today and are part of this initiative. Thrive and Shine is a solution, recognizing how challenging and nerve-wracking it is to make that later in life move, the unfamiliarity of what to do, who to trust, how to coordinate seems to keep most people frozen in place until, unfortunately, a crisis arises. Empowerment, I believe, is key, taking charge of your life and the goals that you have beyond 55. How do you establish that? By understanding your options and having proximity to those who can guide you through whatever those goals happen to be. So how do we fill the gap? This series has been created to provide answers to topics that matter to you from caring professionals who are highly qualified to provide solutions. This monthly format is important because it allows you the opportunity to build connections while gaining the support and education around the issues that matter to you the most in a relaxed environment, shared with those who are likely dealing with similar circumstances. At this point, I would love to introduce you to our educational partners. The initiative could not thrive without their support, and the volunteer welcome team, to whom I want to extend a heartfelt thank you. On that note, let me introduce our educational partners. Meet Patrick Festa of Festa Mortgages and Financial Services. With over 19 years in the industry, Patrick's focus is on helping 55 plus unlock the equity in their homes to improve cash flow and create financial freedom. His focus has always been helping clients save their two most valuable assets, which is time and money. So why is he important? Because if you choose to age in place, that's probably something that you're probably going to want to speak to somebody like Patrick about that. Claudia Ahamparam is the brainchild behind Get Right Physio. Claudia is over here. Claudia is passionate about empowering adults 55 plus through tailored expert in-home physiotherapy to maintain functional mobility, enhance quality of life, and remain confident while aging in place and aging well. Claudia is actually going to be our feature speaker in December, so sign up now. You don't want to miss this session, as Claudia provides us with a practical look at how physiotherapy supports strength and confidence at every stage of aging. In absentia is Rick Honeyford of Honey Financial. Rick is a seasoned, he is here. He's just not at his table. Hi, Rick. All right, he's here. Yay! Seasoned financial professional with over 2 decades of experience in the financial services sector. As a certified financial planner and certified executor advisor, Rick has dedicated his career to helping individuals, particularly seniors, navigate the complexities of retirement planning, wealth management, and legacy planning. We're going to turn that phone off. Give me 1 second, pardon me. Kim Diamond of Clutterfly. There's Kim right over there. Everybody loves Kim. Kim was actually our premier speaker last month, and she engaged us in an informative session around decluttering. She's also an original member of Right Sizing Remedies. Kim is a certified professional organizer in chronic disorganization, as well as a certified virtual professional organizer. Her focus is in organizing and decluttering, downsizing and move management, estate clearing, and hoarding intervention. We have with us today Chartwell Retirement Residences And they are being represented here today by Katie Horrigan, retirement living consultant of Chartwell Waterford in Oakville. Also from Oakville, Samantha Bruno, retirement living consultant from Chartwell, Oakville, Trafalgar, and Dundas. Chartwell retirement residencies aren't just located in Canada, they are deeply rooted in our local communities as one of the largest and most trusted retirement living providers. They proudly serve over 25,000 seniors in Ontario, Quebec, Alberta, and in British Columbia. And in absentia, and I know she's not here, I know she's not, we have Pauline Klemenchik of Klemenchik Law. Pauline was called to the bar in 2015. The family law practice has served the Etobicoke community since 1978. Pauline is an active community volunteer, including serving on the board of directors of the Slovenian nursing home Dom Lipa from 2014 to 2020. The firm handles property transactions, wills and estates, planning, estate administration, corporate and commercial matters and family matters. Okay, now I'm looking for my water, pardon me. Because now I get to introduce Jennifer. Our speaker today is Jennifer Rovet. Okay, so firstly, Jennifer is also an original member of Right Sizing Remedies. Jennifer is a seasoned human resources professional with a degree in psychology from McGill University and over 15 years of experience specializing in recruitment and talent acquisition within the not-for-profit sector. Her passion for retirement coaching grew from a deeply personal space, watching her parents, both dedicated professionals with 40-year careers in law and neuroscience, struggle emotionally as they approached retirement. Supporting them through that transition inspired Jennifer to formalize her skills and become a certified professional retirement coach through the Retirement Coaches Association. In 2019, she launched Retire Ready Canada, her coaching practice, where she has since guided numerous clients through one of life's biggest transitions, helping them design meaningful, balanced, and fulfilling retirements. Jennifer offers one-on-one and couples coaching that explores the emotional, social, physical, and spiritual dimensions of retirement. She empowers her clients to stay active, connected, and purposeful so they can move forward with confidence and excitement into this next chapter of life. Please help me welcome Jennifer Rovet to the podium.
Hi, everybody. It's good to be here today, and thank you, Selena.
Thank you for being here.
All right, I'm going to put my glasses on. So I'm at that age now where I need glasses, reading glasses. Okay. Uh-oh. Oops. Okay. So today I want to talk to you about planning for your retirement and what does that look like? What does that mean? So before I get going on that, I just want to tell you a little bit about me. First and foremost, I am a mom. I have a 16-year-old boy named Jack. That's the picture of him there. And he's a fun guy. He keeps me very busy with all his sports activities, and now he's learning to drive, so that's very interesting. But he's a good kid, and he still likes to hang out with me, so I'm happy about that. And then I'm also a cat mom to my sweet Persian cat. Her name is Daenerys, and we call her Dany for short. So if anyone's watched Game of Thrones, you might understand why we named her Daenerys. I love spending time with my boyfriend and family, going outside for walks and swimming. And 4 years ago, I started lawn bowling at Q Beach Lawn Bowling Club in the beaches, and that's very, very fun. I recommend it for anyone who wants to try something different. And I'm just really passionate about my community and helping others and really being a source of support for others. And I believe that has shaped my life tremendously and provided a path for my career choices. So as Selena was saying, I launched my business in 2019. I became a certified professional retirement coach and launched my business called Retire Ready Canada. As I saw a need for this service because people were really struggling with the the emotional side of retirement and what am I going to do in retirement? People seem to be fine financially, but you have all that. You have the finances taken care of, but it's like, what am I going to do with my time? And also, as something to mention, I saw firsthand how my own parents struggled. Last year, I co-wrote a workbook. I'll show it to you. Called Reach for Retirement. And this workbook supplements my practice. So I give this to all my clients, and there's a number of exercises to go through. And I provide that to all my clients as part of my coaching service. It's also available on Amazon if you're interested in purchasing it. There's a few copies over there you can have a look at too. And really, my goal as a retirement coach is, as Selena said too, to empower my clients so they discover what they wish to do during their retirement years and who they want to spend their time with. And I know I've done my job well when my clients finish their sessions with me and they're confident and they're excited about what lies ahead for them. Okay. So these are just the topics that I'll be discussing today. So I'm going to go this way. First, we're going to talk about retirement and the definition of retirement and what that means to everybody. I'll go through a few common misconceptions that people have about retirement. I'll talk about the 5 stages of retirement. And then I'll dive into a few of the main topics that we always hear about when we talk about retirement, sort of, if you want to call them pillars. So that would include identity, purpose. I'll talk about leaving a legacy, health and wellness, social connections, and then at the end, I'll talk about putting this all together and building your retirement plan. So when we talk about retirement, a lot of people actually don't like the word retirement. They feel it has this negative connotation, like it's just the end, it's the finality of life work. I don't mind the word myself, but people try to change it. Like there's lots of people have suggested words like rewire. What's another one? I can only think of rewire. But anyway, so when we think of the word retirement, like there's this connotation to it, but there's a lot of great things that you think of when you think of retirement, like things like, freedom or sleeping in or traveling. And I just want to ask you, the audience, if there's any words that come to mind when you think of the word. You just want to shout them out. Sorry? Traveling, yep. Sorry? Yep, for sure. Yep, not working. Freedom. Yes, that's a big one. Yes, no alarm clocks. Moving on. Yeah, these are all great suggestions and words that we think of when we think of retirement. I might touch on a few of those as I go through the presentation. Okay. So there's quite a few misconceptions or myths about retirement, and I want to go through a few of these. So the first one is that if you have enough money saved, you'll be fine. Having enough money saved is just one part of the retirement puzzle, but it's not all of it. So retirement has to have a holistic approach and include the emotional, physical, social, and spiritual aspects as well. Another misconception is retirement is like one big holiday. Although many people do enjoy those first few months of retirement, and it's considered the honeymoon phase, which I'll talk about in the next slide. And, while it might be nice to play golf every day or travel the world and sit on a beach, at some point, people just want more. There's only so much golf I believe you can play. And as much as I love sitting on a beach, I don't think I could do it 24/7 forever. Like at some point, you need more. And a lot of people feel a need to have purpose back in their life and something that will give them fulfillment, joy, and meaning in their retirement years. Number 3 is you don't need to plan for your retirement. You can just wing it. And while this might work for some, it's not recommended. So retirement can be a really long time now. People are living much longer lives than ever before due to improved health, advances in medicine, and just overall increased longevity. So this means that you might have 20, 30, maybe even 40 years where you need to figure out what you're going to do. And having some sort of plan and structure in your life is essential and will steer you away from confusion, depression, and even isolation. And finally, what you decide to do now is what you'll do for your entire retirement. And that is certainly not true. Not only do our interests change with passing years, but our bodies might be telling us to slow down as well as we age. Something that you were able to do maybe 10 years ago, you might not be able to do it now. So it's important to recognize that there are different stages in our health as we age, and this will change what we're able to do and actually what we want to do. And finally, life circumstances can change as well. For example, the death of a spouse might mean that your life is going to change dramatically. It might even be unexpected. And as hard as that might be, it's necessary to adapt and be resilient to what is going on in your life. Okay. So I now want to talk about the 5 stages of retirement. And to really understand retirement, it's important to know about the different stages and where you are in this process. So the first stage is called pre-retirement. And this stage typically occurs a good 10 to 15 years before you want to retire. And during this stage, you start to think about your financial situation and what you need to do to be financially healthy. During this stage, you should also consider the emotional aspects of retirement and start thinking about what might make you happy. The second phase is the honeymoon phase. And this is the phase that, it's exciting. You've just retired. It brings that excitement to you and that newfound freedom, along with a sense of relief from the demands of work. So this phase can last anywhere from 6 months up to 2 years, but everybody's different. So that's just like a general rule, I guess. During this time, you can, you don't have to go to work now. So you can basically do whatever you want. You can rekindle relationships with family and friends, pursue hobbies and passion, and simply enjoy whatever it is that brings you happiness. So following the honeymoon stage is the next stage, which is called disenchantment. And many retirees experience a sense of disappointment and disenchantment with their retired life during this stage. Although retirement's oftenly anticipated and met with great excitement, as time passes, the initial thrill may wear off and they have a lessened sense of enthusiasm. People are often disappointed and think that this wasn't exactly how they imagined their life would be. This shift can bring about emotions such as loneliness, boredom, depression, and a perceived loss of purpose. So the fourth stage is called reorientation and finding yourself. And in line with any life transition, you gradually adapt to your new circumstances and chart your course through this next stage. This phase of retirement, often the most demanding, involves self-discovery and rediscovering your purpose and identity, requiring both time and deliberate effort. This stage is ideal to explore new hobbies and rekindle old ones and dive into life's purpose. This is the time to unearth something that reignites your enthusiasm, whether it's continuing to work part-time maybe, or on a consultancy basis, volunteer, spend time with your family and friends, or simply fill your daily routine with enjoyable and enriching activities. And finally, the last stage is called stability. And this final stage of retirement welcomes a profound sense of contentment, positivity, and happiness in your new life. It's a phase where you might find yourself seamlessly going through your daily routine and lifestyle, engaging in activities that ignite your passion and fill you with a sense of satisfaction. During this time, you savor life with a renewed sense of purpose, gratitude, and a redefined identity. Okay, so let's dive into the different pillars of retirement. And the first one is identity. And no doubt that your work has played a significant role in shaping the person that you are today. Your job has provided you with a sense of purpose, accomplishment, recognition, and of course, financial security. But what happens when you retire and you're no longer at your place of work? What happens to your identity? Do you feel that your job title defines who you are? Many people do believe it does, and they struggle after they leave their job. One thing I hear over and over again is how to introduce yourself at a social gathering when you can no longer say, "Hi, my name is Bob, and I'm an executive partner at ABC Consulting." As you prepare to dive into this new stage, now is a good time to discover who you are and what makes you, you. One of the exercises in my workbook is called My Values and Strengths. And I really like this exercise because it asks the participants or whoever is working on this exercise to identify what strengths you bring or maybe that you've gained from your work life and how you can use that strength in your retirement life. So that might be leading a team, mentoring or teaching colleagues, creating processes or procedures, or communication. Knowing these strengths can guide you as you plan your retirement. Okay, so next is purpose. And when we discuss retirement, the most talked about subject is purpose. And whether we like our jobs or not, they gave us purpose. They got us out of bed each day. They provided structure. They gave us a social network and relationships, and they allowed us to have goals, accomplishments, and could even be part of a legacy. As you think about your life going forward now, identify all the things that give you meaning and a sense of direction. What excites you? What will get you out of bed each day? And what really matters to you? And it doesn't have to be complicated. It could be as simple as volunteering or mentoring a younger generation or even newcomers to Canada. Another exercise in my workbook is called What I Miss. And for this exercise, you are asked to identify the things that you will miss or think you will miss once you leave your work life and identify why you will miss that and what you can replace that with in your retirement years. So that is purpose. So just looking at the wording on the slide, I'll just read it to you. Purpose is the extent to which people see their lives as having meaning, a sense of direction, and goals. Studies suggest that retirees who focus on living purposely have reduced stress levels and are in better physical health and age more successfully than those who don't. So purpose is very, very important. Okay, so I just want to talk a little bit about leaving a legacy. And I'm not sure if anyone really thinks about this, but it is important. And as you prepare for your retirement, it's important to start thinking about your legacy and what you want to leave behind and how you want to be remembered. I found this great definition of legacy, which I'll read to you. Leaving a legacy is about more than material wealth. It's about the impact we have on others and the values we pass on. A meaningful legacy reflects our beliefs, passions, and connections. Through acts of kindness, mentorship, and creativity, we can inspire future generations to carry forward our ideals. Ultimately, a legacy is a tapestry of our experiences, shaping a narrative that influences lives and communities long after we're gone. I just want to give you an example of leaving a legacy. And this is an example, my father. And my father passed away over a year ago. And while he had a very successful career as an employment and labor in employment and labor law, that wasn't the legacy that he left behind. His legacy will be moving up to the country, where he created this beautiful farm house for himself and his family, and along with his many, many horses and dogs. And he'll be remembered, like he got very much involved in the community, and even the locals were laughing a little bit at him because he was this lawyer from the city who came up to live in the country, and they called him a gentleman farmer. He really embraced the lifestyle, but the thing that makes it so special is the life that he gave his horses and his dogs. He really loved those animals, and he gave them the best life that he could. Even on his tombstone, we had written caregiver of his horses and dogs. So my point is that legacy doesn't have to be just tied to your work, and like all, I'm sure many of you have done some really great things in your careers, but it doesn't have to be your work. It can be just how you chose to live your life and what you did for others and how perhaps you gave back. There we go. Okay, so the next topic I want to talk about is health and wellness. And we all know that living and maintaining good health is necessary no matter what stage of life you're in. However, maybe it's even more important as we enter into this next stage of life, where maintaining good health will allow us to live longer and do all the things that we want to do. I won't go into too much detail here, as I'm sure you're already very familiar with these things, but here are just a few gentle reminders and simple practices that you can incorporate into your daily life. So, the first is maintain a healthy diet. We all know that we should eat well, a diet full of fruits and vegetables, good protein, whole grains. And if you want to eat sweets or drink alcohol, just try to keep those in moderation. Try to get movement every day. It's so important just to keep moving as we age. And this can be anything from walking, strength training, yoga, hiking, gardening, or swimming. I see videos of Selena, and she's walking every day. She's doing pickleball. I'm impressed. And, it's so good for you. And even just a little bit of movement every day is better than nothing. Next is visit your doctor regularly, and stay up to date on your health and what is going on with your body. If something doesn't feel right, don't put it off. You are your best ambassador for your own health. And, if something is bothering you, it's hurting, it doesn't feel right, don't ignore it. Go see your doctor. And finally, take time to relax, breathe, and meditate. It's so important just to take that time to have that leisure time and relax, and don't feel guilty for perhaps having a nap in the afternoon. Like, having a nap is actually really good for you. And just take some time to breathe and meditate. This will calm your nervous system. It can also lower your blood pressure and heart rate and reduce stress. I recently learned the 5-5-5 technique. I don't know if anyone's heard of that. It's where you inhale for 5 seconds, hold for 5 seconds, and then exhale for 5 seconds. And I try to do this twice a day, like 5 times twice a day. And I find it really helps, and it calms me down. And sometimes I do it in bed, and it actually helps me fall asleep and stay asleep for longer. So it's good. So just a few things to be aware of with your health and wellness as we go into this next stage of life. Okay, and the last topic I want to talk about is social connections and why they are so important. So one thing that I've been hearing a lot about lately, I've been reading a lot lately, is this whole idea of having a community or having a tribe. It's interesting that this is becoming more and more important as we age, and just to have those social connections. So having relationships, a community or a tribe, provides emotional support and helps combat feelings of loneliness and isolation, which can be serious problems for older adults in this stage of life. Social engagement provides well-being, mental well-being, reducing the risk of depression and cognitive decline. And strong social ties can encourage a more active lifestyle, as friends and family members can motivate each other to participate in activities. I'm looking around the room, and I'm sure maybe somebody came here with a friend today or a spouse. That's what they do. They're like, oh, let's go to this great talk today. There's this woman talking about retirement planning. Let's go. And finally, having a supportive network can enhance your overall quality of life, providing opportunities for shared experiences, joys, and a sense of belonging. So ultimately, social connections enrich retirement, making it more fulfilling and an enjoyable time in your life. So I'm just going to talk, this is the last thing about social connections, but I want to talk about your social portfolio. So just as a financial portfolio provides you with financial well-being, your social portfolio supports your social and emotional well-being. And this can include a healthy mix of family and friends, both old and new, and meaningful activities for you to enjoy together. This is another exercise for my workbook, and it's basically answering these three questions. So the first question is, how secure is your social portfolio? Do you have meaningful relationships? Are you all involved in enjoyable activities? Have you diversified your social portfolio? Do you have things you like to do alone and other activities that get you out with other people? And what can you do to increase and diversify your social portfolio? Where can you meet new people and get involved in activities? So today, this is a perfect example of getting out and meeting new people and having a good time. So if you answered yes to these questions, you're in good shape. If you answered no to one or more of these questions, it might be a good time to focus on creating deeper connections and finding activities that will help you meet new people who bring joy and meaning to your life. Okay. So now that I've gone through these different pillars, identity, purpose, health, and social, now it's time to put it all together and create that retirement lifestyle, that will bring you joy and fulfill your passions, and develop some strategies for maintaining a balanced life. So this includes looking at the what, how, and why, along with your commitment to obtaining your goals. So let's go through each one individually. So your what. As you think about how you want your life to unfold, summarize what areas are going well and those that need improvement. So as an easy example, something that you want to improve might be your diet. So how? Once you've identified what areas of retirement need improvement, identify how implementing a few strategies will help you reach your goals. So if your goal is to improve your diet, so that's the what, the how might be working with a nutritionist or a dietitian, or getting involved in a healthy cooking class, or going through your kitchen and getting rid of all the junk food or the processed foods and really making a conscious effort to shop more healthy and buy more healthy foods. The next is your why. So as you discover areas that require improvement, ask yourself, why am I doing this? Your why is the driving force to keeping you motivated. Not knowing your why can lead to indecisiveness, procrastination, self-doubt, fear, a failure, and inconsistency. So again, using the example of improving your diet, your why might be, I want to lose some weight. I want to just be healthier. I need to manage my diabetes, or I want to live a long life so I can play with my grandchildren, something like that. And then finally, once you've identified your what, how, and why, think about your commitment to implementing and sustaining your plan. Okay, so that takes us to the end of this presentation, and we do have a Q&A But before we do that, we have 2 giveaways for everybody, for 2 lucky people today. And the giveaways are a copy of my book and also a canvas tote bag with my logo on it. So whoever can answer this question will be the lucky winner of my workbook. And then, so the question is, whose retirement date is closest to today? Well, we can even go back in time if need be.
Nobody wants to admit. Mine was 16 months.
Oh.
Okay. Can anybody beat that?
Yes? Oh. Okay. Well, I think you are the lucky winner. Okay. Okay. The next prize, as I said, this is a tote bag, a white canvas tote bag with my logo on it. And the lucky winner is that person who has a hobby or activity they can't wait to spend more time on in retirement. Anyone? Yes. Oh, there you go. There you go. Yeah, you can hold all your crochet stuff in that. Great. Well, enjoy. Okay. Well, thank you, everybody. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you, Jennifer. That was very, very informative. I hope you guys got something out of that. For me, what struck me is when she spoke about after retiring, how do you introduce yourself? Because so many people, first thing out of their mouth is, what do you do for a living, right? So that was one of the things that struck me. And then I loved the idea of a social portfolio. I'm all over it. Getting my social portfolio together. So thank you very much for your time, Jennifer. And I wanted to thank our educational partners again, Retire Ready, Chartwell, Festa Mortgages, Get Right Physio, Honey Financial, and Clutterfly. I also wanted to draw your attention to our very next seminar, which will be held on December the 10th. Of course, same place, same bat time. Doors open at 1 p.m. It's 1:30 to 3. The lovely Claudia over here will be giving us a practical look at how physiotherapy supports mobility, strength, and confidence at every stage of aging. And here, if you wanted to point your phone over here, you can join our Facebook group. And where a number of our partners, they're also involved there. You can just get to ask your questions. It seems as though there may be a few questions remaining for Jen, and you can just pop into that group and Jen can let you know on the Facebook group. It's called Thrive and Shine, in case you wanted to look it up instead of doing that. And I want to thank you very much for your time this afternoon. Thank you for attending.